Government restricts ATM withdrawals to $45 per day in bid to force digital transactions. Hey everybody, this is Venomous coming at you with some more digital dictatorship updates. And go ahead and see if you can say that 5 times fast. Trying to rein in an economy in which cash still dominates, Nigeria is imposing limits on how much cash its people can withdraw per day from automatic teller machines. In a letter sent to banks on Tuesday, the Central Bank of Nigeria said that as of January 9th, the daily limit of money that can be withdrawn per day is 2,000 naira, which according to Bloomberg comes to $44.97. The current limit is 150,000 naira. The new edict limits weekly withdrawals of cash at no more than 100,000 naira for people and 500,000 naira for corporations. Withdrawals above these limits will trigger hefty fees, according to the letter. Other rules include a ban of cash and checks above 50,000 naira over the counter and getting more than 20,000 naira a day through cash withdrawals at point-of-sale terminals. Customers should be encouraged to use alternative channels, internet banking, mobile banking apps, USSD, cards, point-of-sale, eNaira. eNaira? I'll tell you something, these 6 psychopaths that made up a big plan to take over the world, they're not very creative with naming their digital currencies, but I digress. High cash usage enables corruption, leakages, and money laundering against other cash-related fraudulent activities, the central bank website proclaims. Bloomberg estimates that the policy has a long way to go. With about 85% of Nigeria's currency held outside of banks, almost 40 million adults do not have bank accounts. The policy is linked to concerns over gangs that turn to kidnapping as a form of money-making through ransom, according to Reuters. Other issues the bank has cited include counterfeiting, vote buying, and other shady transactions, as the nation approaches its presidential election in February. The central bank has redesigned the nation's high-denomination currency, with residents being given until January 31st to exchange their current cash for the new notes. The central bank is also trying to promote the use of its eNaira digital currency, which has not proven popular. Gee, I wonder why.
Do you feel like you're sounding the alarm
Yes.
for people that don't understand what the fuck is going on?
So here, I'll pull it up for you here, yeah? So there's the video.
Yeah.
I don't know if your camera can see that, but
No.
there's the video. There's him speaking about it.
The G7 is launching a set of public policy principles for retail central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Central bank digital currencies could be a digital version of money, a bit like a digital banknote that could be used alongside...
Right, so that's the guy who runs our economy in the UK. His name's the Chancellor of the Exchequer. And here is the article. Bank of England tells ministers to intervene on digital currency programming, yeah? And here's a quote from the article. This is in the Telegraph, the one he pulled up, but it was behind a paywall, so I'll just read the quote. Digital cash could be programmed to ensure it is only spent on essentials or goods which an employer or government deems to be sensible.
Holy
Now,
shit.
I'm going to take it one step further for you, Joe, right? So the vaccine passport infrastructure is in place. But now we know that the vaccine doesn't stop infection or transmission, but the checkpoint Charlie exists everywhere. They bring in digital banking, central banking digital currencies. You've got a scenario now that you're checking in and out everywhere you go using vouchers that are programmed and you can only spend where you're told you can spend them. There's another word for that, man. That's called the Chinese social credit system. That's what it's called. And anyone who watches Black Mirror will know what I'm talking about. That's that TV show, right?
Yeah.
So what they are telling us, and when I say they, who's they? People in power. That's the head of our economy, the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Second most powerful person other than the Prime Minister and maybe the Foreign Secretary in the UK, right? He's telling us, I just played it there for you. He's telling us that's what he, as the UK, the head of the G7, want to bring in for the G7. So a scenario where, like in New York at the moment, because the passport infrastructure is in place, you bring in that digital currency and you've got this total control. And if I'm speaking to you the way I'm speaking now, and my employer or government, you heard that in the quote directly, yeah, deems me as saying or doing something inappropriate, suddenly I can't actually pay to come here and speak to you anymore. My digital currency won't even pay for the ticket because it will be known that I'm coming to speak to you. Sorry, your vouchers don't allow you to purchase that ticket to go and speak to Joe.
The new actions were criticized by Victor Olojo, president of the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents of Nigeria, according to the website Punch. Although Joe said difficulty would be felt as we still have a lot of transactions done with cash, especially those that are below the pyramid, such as market women and men who are petty traders. Because this in essence means that once a bag of rice or flour is to be bought, which is above 20,000 naira, it has to be via e-banking. Looking at it, how many of these people are technology savvy? Oh, of course, we're only concerned about people that might not be able to use the technology because they don't have the skills. We're not concerned about people falling victim to this digital tyrannical system that they're building around them. No, let's have no concern about that. It's just maybe not everyone can use the e-banking so easily. That's the main concern here. Look, folks, you should know by now that this is coming to America. President Joe Biden has already signed an executive order to start creating a new digital currency for the U.S. No, Venomous, that would never happen here. The people would reject it, wouldn't they? Hadn't all the nonsense happened for the past 3 years now, I would have maybe given that to you, but no, the people will accept it. If not at first, eventually. Look, all I'm trying to say here is that you better be prepared for the future, because it's gonna kick your ass if you don't. This is Venomous reporting from the Brave New World, and I'll catch you all next time.
I think it's quite likely that the CBDC will arrive, and it will also be the subject of the currency reset at the same time. At some point, the world is going to go into a crisis, or a country is going to go into a crisis. It might be the UK, it might be Italy, it might even be the United States, but something is going to happen. Things are very, very taut in the financial world at the moment. When that happens, I think they will close the banks. You'll wake up on a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday morning and hear the news that they've shut the banks, not going to open on Monday, and then by Monday evening or Tuesday, you'll get the announcement that we're having a new currency, the CBDC, and don't worry, it'll be 1-to-1 against the old currency, but there'll be some restrictions on your ability to convert your old money into the new money. So if you're poor and you have a small bank account, it'll be converted 1-to-1 straight away. And you'll probably even find that you'll get a free gift from the government to kickstart the system. Maybe £3,000 or £5,000 will be given to every citizen gratuitously to kickstart the system in the new CBDC. But if you have 100,000 or 1 million in the bank, you're going to be told, yes, it's 1-to-1, but you're going to have to wait to convert it to the new currency. Now, wait means never. We all know that, but they won't tell you that. They'll say it's a temporary suspension because we're in the middle of a crisis. The people are rioting in the streets. And we need to calm the system. So here's some free money, everybody. Go and enjoy yourselves. And by the way, the rich can't convert their money for a while, but they'll be able to do so later. So if you happen to own Apple bonds, they'll be denominated in the old dollars. You won't be able to. It'll still be old dollars. You won't be able to convert those old dollars until you've got the cash. But when you get the cash, you'll need permission to do it, and you're not going to get that permission. It'll be exactly like we had in Britain back before 1975, when we had the exchange controls. You needed permission from the Bank of England. I mean, I remember when I travelled abroad the first time, I was allowed to take £50 with me abroad. Didn't go very far.